My favorite superhero movie.
Oh, wow.
Are we counting graphic novels as superhero movies?
What's a graphic novel? I don't want to hear what you do in your
like
personal,
Sin City.
personal
Like,
time.
do those count, or are we just? I mean, I'll say The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight?
I'll say The Dark Knight.
Could not agree more.
But that.
What's your second favorite superhero movie? Because I feel like The Dark Knight's.
I would say
it is a superhero movie.
Iron Man.
I would say
Iron
okay.
Man.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay.
The first Iron Man.
I'd say Endgame, Avengers.
Not a fan.
I don't watch any Marvel.
I was not a fan of Endgame. I didn't like the way it went down. I would say, honestly, the two best ones I've seen were the last Spider-Man, like the newest Spider-Man, and then The Dark Knight's number one. The opening scene of The Dark Knight may be the best scene in all of cinema.
So good.
In the history of cinema.
I want to make sure that's the right one. It's where they stab Thanos, but they don't stab him in the head, and he's like,
we're talking about The Dark Knight.
Talking about The Dark Knight.
What are you talking about? Whatever you're talking about.
Avengers.
Wait, do graphic novels count, though?
Yes.
You like
we can count
Sin
graphic
City
novels.
and...
Yeah, I like Sin City.
Okay.
Bruce Willis, right? When he in Sin City?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. The Miami Heat take a 3-2 series lead over the Sixers. The Angels' Reed Detmer no-hits the Rays, and we'll pick 4 teams to make the college football playoff, excluding the SEC. I'm Jake Crane, and it's your favorite time of day, baby. It's Crane & Company. I'm going to guess that most of you listening to this are competitive in some way. Some people are more competitive than others, and competitions take place on way more venues than just the court, the diamond, the ice, or the gridiron. We compete all the time, and we love competition so much, we consume even more by watching other people compete against each other. Most of us would do many things to compete on the biggest stage, under the brightest lights, and to have a chance to leave our mark athletically. That is why it shocks me when I see a team not compete to the fullest extent, especially in the playoffs. That's what I saw last night from the Sixers. A lack of edge, a lack of dog, a lack of everyone doing what it takes to get the job done regardless of the circumstance. And it wasn't just one player either. From James Harden to Tobias Harris, from Maxey to Thibodeaux, the Sixers looked like they gave up after the first sign of adversity. Nobody was willing to speak up during timeouts or get on to another player to give each other a chance by helping each other emotionally. Embiid's beat to pieces right now, and I understand his ineffectiveness somewhat. But after you don't win the MVP, you come out lacking energy the whole game? There was no verbal encouragement or even showing or venting of frustration. Make no mistake, effort gets you through the door. Effort is the ante it takes to be able to play, and last night was an embarrassing effort from Philly. I understand that shots don't always fall, and sometimes you flat out just get beat. But how you get beat sometimes can scream way louder than how much you get beat by. And I'll say this, nobody has beaten Tessemates, I can promise you. So I'll go ahead and bring in David Cohn and Blaine as well. It's one thing to lose. And coaches say this all the time, I shouldn't be talking about effort. I shouldn't have to coach effort. I shouldn't have to teach effort. You bring the effort. I'll bring the knowledge. We'll put it together. We'll go compete and see how it goes. But it blows my mind watching Philly last night. And I know it didn't go great early. I know the shots weren't falling, but there was no sense of urgency. There was nobody saying, you know what? We got to fix this. That's what worries me about Philly. Do they have a leader? Talk about Grant Williams and the Celtics all the time. See the best player on the team? No. Pretty good player, getting better, especially on defense. But I look at the Sixers. Who's that guy? Who's that voice? Who's that overarching person to say, you know what? We got to get it together. We need to figure it out. Didn't see it from James. Maxey, can't put that on you. You're too young. You're too young. Thibault, you're not dog enough to do it. Joel, to me, hasn't proven to be a big-time verbal leader yet in the right way either. Cone, there's no excuse for it in my mind.
I prompted you guys yesterday with the statement that the 76ers have won their final game of the season already. You said no, because this series is going to go 7 and then they'll get beat. And then you said the Heat have already won their final game of the season.
I did say that.
Well, they performed well last night. So what do you think about this series now?
Well, I think the Sixers, after that performance, I mean, what else would I think about it? I know the Heat wouldn't. One thing I haven't really questioned if you watch the Heat is effort. Sometimes it's the ball's not going in. And that's acceptable. It's basketball. It's sports. But the way how do you not come out energetic? It looked like the people watching the game care more about more about it than the people playing the game. And why would I expect anything else from Jay? Why would I sit here, I give you my faith. You know what? I believe in you guys. After the performance you put on in Philly, I believe in you guys. It looked like y'all are the better team. Joel Embiid looked like head and shoulders better than anybody on that court. The Jimmy Butler comes out and is just doing Jimmy Butler things. So I think about it right now. Why wouldn't I take the Heat? Is it that much of a separation from home in the way someone plays? Because that separation was giant. After the first 5 minutes of that game, that ball game was over.
Well, here's the problem I have. They're going to go back to Philly to play Game 6, and Philly's going to win.
You think
they'll
so?
play hard? They'll play good. Then we'll come back here and say, wow, I guess the Sixers somehow figured it out. But therein lies the problem. You'll never win a championship if your effort level and consistency is like a Geiger counter. It's just whatever. You have to be able to bring it every night. Because again, the shots aren't going to be falling every night. You may have to win a game 101-98. You may have to win a game 97-94. You're not going to win every game 115-105 or 115-95. You've got to be able to bring it on offense, defense, and special teams. Yes, I'm talking about basketball every night to be able to survive these series.
Yeah.
Philly will go back home and win. Then they'll go to Miami and probably lose by double.
Well, last night would have made a little more sense if they had home field advantage or home court advantage in this series, right? Like, I still think play as hard as you can every single game and keep a playoff game closer than that. But if you knew that Game 7 was at your place, that makes a little bit more sense. But you're either going to have to win Game 5 on the road or Game 7, and you have to win Game 6.
You've got to now win Game 6 at home and go and try and win a Game 7.
Yes, but I'm talking about before last night.
Before last night.
You're either going to have to win Game 5 or 7 and win Game 6.
And you'd much rather play them in Game 5 at home because that place is going to be nuts during Game 7.
So I don't understand it. You said yesterday that the Heat just don't have a low post answer for what Joel Embiid can do. So after watching this game, did they do enough to convince you otherwise, or is this just a situation where Embiid he's banged up?
Yeah, okay. And he did look somewhat banged up.
He's hurt. He got hit in the face again last night.
Then that makes me say it better not be some 40-point performance in Philly. Then you're not that hurt, buddy.
Yeah.
Then if it's that quick of a turnaround, you're not that hurt. But you look at the Sixers team, and I kind of go back to what you said. There's not a clear voice on this team. Now, they don't have a PJ Tucker, or an Al Horford, veteran guy on the team that really leads that team. I mean,
that's a good point.
I mean, you have James Harden, who's one of those guys who's not going to be a vocal leader. I think James Harden's about as toxic as any player in the NBA.
Toxic?
For sure.
Toxic, though.
For sure. Yeah.
I just think he's not a strong person. He's not a leader. There's a difference.
I think he's a strong personality, but in a quiet way.
No. I think that James Harden doesn't want to be a leader. I don't think that's James Harden's personality. Good, bad, or indifferent. And just because you don't want to be a leader doesn't mean you're toxic.
I agree.
I think there's a big difference between calling somebody toxic and just
go back to the Nets days. Go back to the Houston days. Like there's always a problem with James Harden with somebody on the team.
Unless your philosophy is a me guy, I think a case can be made for sure that he's a me guy. If your philosophy is by definition that makes you toxic, then fair enough. But I think those are two different things.
I think they're two different things. I think people want James Harden to be something that he's just not.
Okay.
I think they want him to be the vocal leader, the alpha. That's not him.
I just want him to play better.
Again, I'm not going to get mad at a guy. People are bashing the guy for having 24, 16, and 8. Like, that's not a bad. You're expecting him to put up the numbers that Joel Embiid and these. That's not him. When he was with the Thunder, remember it was him. Wasn't it him, Durant, and Westbrook were all on the same team? Remember that? Yeah. And he was the sixth man coming off the bench. Then you go to Houston and go through that experiment. Then you go to the Nets where he is a star, but he's not the superstar that Kevin Durant and Kyrie are, and there's problems there. I think people want him to be something that he's not. You can bash him for that. That's fine. If you're saying, all right, well, his talent doesn't match his personality, it needs to be a more mega, more alpha, more dominant personality. I don't think that's who James Harden is. You go back and look at him at Arizona State. I don't think that's who he was at Arizona State. And if you're relying on James Harden to be a leader at this point in his career, all of what you've seen with all of that in the past, then I think you're making a bad bet. Joel Embiid needs to be that team's leader. The one who I think may end up doing it, as crazy as it sounds, is the youngest one. Is Maxey. Maxey's the only one that I'm watching. I'm like, this guy, and he didn't shoot good last night. He is playing his guts out. I can watch him and tell that he is playing his guts out, and it means something to him. It means a lot to him.
When you're on that first contract.
And again, I'll say it's overwhelming, and you hear people say, oh, well, that you shouldn't thrust him. Look, leaders got to step up. Don't matter if it's the youngest. It don't matter if it's the oldest. We go into battle and war, and we're in a platoon, and the youngest guy is the leader, and he's doing good. Do your thing, young blood. Do your thing.
James Harden's getting paid enough to where he has to do more. He's got to do more. I'm sorry, you got to do more. It's people who say, well, James Harden doesn't need to score. He just needs to do this and do this.
Never said that.
James Harden needs to score. James Harden's at his best is when he is scoring. James Harden can facilitate in his sleep, but it gets to a point where in an NBA game, whether it's home or road, man, you got to put the ball in the basket.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Would you rather James Harden, with the healthy Joel Embiid, be playing good and facilitating and taking good shots and drawing fouls as opposed to saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go shoot it 40 times. I may score 35 points, but I'm going to shoot 30% and waste a ton of
if James Harden is shooting good shots and getting fouled, he's scoring a good amount of points.
Okay, but so what I'm saying is if you're going to say, all right, you just need to go score more, that's a very easy thing to say, is what I'm saying. How you score is just as important. I watched Drew Holiday score a lot of points, but for the Bucks, I also watched Drew Holiday go through 3 to 5 minute stretches where he's the only one that's shooting, and they fall to an 8-0 run or down to a 10-0
James Harden's one
run.
of the best players still at creating his own space and creating his own shot. I mean, he invented the step back.
Yeah, well, I thought you said, and maybe I'm mistaken, I thought you said that James Harden just doesn't look like his old self, like the game's past.
Well, there's flashes of it, and I believe if there's flashes, then you can get on a consistent basis where you are doing better, scoring the basket.
And he should play better. But again, understand that what our argument was talking about leadership. I'm talking about James Harden from a leadership standpoint. Like, he led by his play the other night when he dropped over 30, right? And I agree with you. He should score more. But I would much rather have James Harden playing well all around, playing good defensively, crashing the glass, facilitating, taking good shots, and drawing fouls as opposed to saying, you know what? I'm going to score 30 points regardless. I may shoot it 45 times. I may shoot 25%, but I'm going to score 30 points because that's how you get drug, in my opinion.
Well, when it's not on clicking on all angles like it was for the Heat game yesterday, I was watching the game waiting on someone to take control of the game. And no one was playing. Joel wasn't taking control of the game.
That's the problem.
Maxey wasn't taking control
That's the
of
problem.
Game. Sooner or later, if you're getting paid $269 million for a 5-year contract or whatever it is, you got to answer the call sometimes. You can't just disappear into the fold and just go away. You're getting paid this money until you answer that call. If you have to be the guy to go score, know when the time is the time. And James Harden, again and again, when big moments come, he folds.
To do it before from the guard position standpoint because he had Chris Paul in Houston.
Yeah.
Right? And even though they only played 16 games together in Brooklyn, Kyrie could do that from a guard perspective, or even KD could bring the ball up the court and take over on a possession when they really needed it. And then if James Harden's open and they kick it out to him and he hits a big shot, congratulations. But he didn't have to be the person in the backcourt taking control of a game late.
It's a lot different riding the bus than driving the bus.
Sure.
That's very true, Charles.
Well, how do you guys feel about tonight, though? The Grizz are on the brink of elimination, and Ja Morant's not going to play, but the Grizz have done well in the regular season without him.
This is where going through those stretches without Ja during the regular season, we even talked about it on the show. I think they were, 14-1?
No, like 20-5.
It's like ridiculous. It prepares you, and then Steven Adams being back is obviously big. I think the Grizzlies win tonight.
Okay.
I think the Grizzlies win the game tonight. I think you're going to see Dillon Brooks and Desmond Bane have good games. You may see that in bets. I may be taking something on Dillon Brooks. They're going to have to. The Grizzlies are at home. The Warriors haven't been super consistent. They did a good, Steve Kerr was obviously out last game with COVID. I'm not going to get into the Jordan Poole stuff again, but I do think the Grizzlies are a 4-point dog. I think they actually win the game tonight. They force it to go back to Golden State for Game 6, where they will lose.
Okay. Game 6, yep.
Yep, Game 6.
Yep.
Deep down, I really think the Grizzlies win this game, but it's just so hard to pick against the Warriors.
It is.
It's so hard to because I know it's on the road. But, look at the experience you have. These guys are used to this. They know the feeling of this game. The Grizzlies coming off, and I know they're like 18-2 or 19-2 without Ja Morant. Still, you're going to feel that space not there covered by that guy. You're going to feel that on the court, especially the way the game's been going, the tempo of the game. Ja's been holding the tempo for the offense of the Grizzlies. So if the Grizzlies are hitting threes, they're going to be fine. But I still think the Warriors win this game, but I don't know if they cover.
You know, the Warriors are one of those few teams that had a dynasty, right? A true dynasty, and then had to overcome, the downfall of that with a lot of injuries. And people could have written them off and said, yeah, they have a lot of great players, but their time's done. It's so hard to have a dynasty, first of all, and then to recreate that again and get everyone healthy. Everyone seems pretty healthy. Yeah. And I think they're looking around and they're like, you know what? We've done this before. And it really was a struggle when we had different players injured and we couldn't put the entire card out there together. We're all back now. I think they go and close the door tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against the Warriors. I just think that place is going to be popping. The Grizz got to give themselves a chance just without Ja. Again, they're used to it, used to the flow of it. I think the Grizz are going to surprise some people tonight. Bucks-Celtics.
Bucks-Celtics.
As well.
What's going on in this one, guys?
In Boston.
Anyone's pick.
Again, I'll say it again. I think this is going 7. I think Boston will win tonight.
Okay.
Probably convincingly. I wouldn't be surprised. Then you go back to Milwaukee for Game 6, and it's going to be decided in Game 7 for Boston. That's why I said the last loss by the Bucks at home to make it 2-2. I think they lost the series there because you're not winning Game 7 in Boston with the guys that they got. Once you get to it, I'd be shocked if the Bucks ended up losing Game 6 at home after they lose Game 5, but it's going to be rocking. I know the Celtics lost Game 1 to the Bucks of this series at home, which now that it's even, that just reinforces it more to those guys, how you have got to be prepared. I don't think the Celtics are going to fall flat on their face at all.
What's the line on this one? Do y'all know?
I think it's 5.5.
I believe the last time I looked at it, it was 5.5 Celtics. But I do think I think the Bucks cover in this game. I think this game's going to be closer than what a lot of people think.
Well, we had 2 blowouts, and then we had a close one, right?
Yeah, I think this game's going to be closer than a lot of people think, but it's just starting to look more and more like the Celtics versus the Warriors, in my opinion. And that's a matchup.
Just to write the Suns off.
Huh? I just don't think the Suns have enough offensive power to stay with the Warriors on a 7-game series. The Warriors play like they're supposed to play, and if Steph and Klay's hot, I mean, good luck. That's just tough to stop in general. But I do think the Celtics are just built so perfectly all the way around. Their bench players have to play good, but I would always expect the stars to step up, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I mean, Smart's getting healthy. I mean, Al Horford's going Super Saiyan. So I believe in the Celtics. One reason is because their defense is so good.
Yeah, what's the Booster Cup saying, Mike?
Kyle Kenny says, the Grizzlies are 20-5 without Ja, but 11 of those wins are against non-playoff teams.
Yeah, I saw that stat,
man.
But to me, it's more about the flow. It's more about the flow and being comfortable with the guys that are out there.
The flow of the series.
And the flow of the game and being out there together, and they won't panic.
Caleb33 says, the Heat's D is the reason why 76ers can't do anything, rather have good D than rather decent offense.
Yeah, defense travels.
Yeah, our only worry was the low post presence.
Yeah, and with Embiid being banged up, it kind of takes a little bit of the blow off.
Our 2 things here. Poor Canadian asks, when did the Daily Wire hire Elon Musk? A couple months.
Well, after he bought Twitter, you should see Replacement Cone, aka stepbrother of Elon Musk.
He's right over there,
still related.
The American Nightmare says he's taking the Bucks in 6, boys.
You're taking the Bucks in 6. Dangerous, man.
All right, Slap My Base 3825 said Celtics are not winning this series.
I disagree. I think they win Game 7 in Boston. I think Giannis will freak out and have a great game.
Bad man.
But you got Tay, who does in the 4th. Jaylen Brown goes through spells where he just blacks out like Will Ferrell in Old School at the debate podium.
He does do that.
Our one and only Sister Riggs thinks the Bucks win tonight. They need to not lose 2 in a row.
That's a true point.
There you go.
Sister Riggs, what's up?
Poor Canadian says, do these guys only talk basketball? My first time here and not a big b-ball fan. Nobody, we do not.
No, and that's a great transition.
Great segue
into
Major League Baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, you want 5 big questions? Let's go 5 big questions.
Let's start with Major League
Welcome to the party as well. Poor Canadian, is that his name?
I believe so.
Poor Canadian.
Stay tuned, Poor Canadian. Here we go. Angels.
Yes.
Had a no-hitter last night.
Yes.
Reed Detmer's on the mound. No hits. Who do you no-hit last night? The Rays.
Yep.
Rays.
Tampa Bay.
Here's my question. Are the Angels for real?
Yes. Now, I know we said yesterday I got to wait and see a couple months. First place right now. Tied for the Major League lead at wins at 21, I believe. And what's crazy is if you look at the run differential for the Angels right now. They're not just winning. They're the first, I think, in 31 total games. They've got a score differential of 30 runs now.
Is that what it is?
It's 30 runs.
Wow.
But here's the thing. It's not just Mike Trout, who's only been in the playoffs once. It was 2014. The Royals swept him up like Marty Huggins because it was a mess. Ohtani, we know what he is. We know he's a generational guy. He can go both ways. Mike Trout, unbelievable player defensively, offensively. He's a 5-tool guy. Going and getting Noah Syndergaard this offseason, there were a couple moves that were huge. He's coming off Tommy John surgery. Wanted to see how he looked. His fastball isn't this dominating 99 to 100 mile per hour fastball, but it's mid-90s, and he's starting to be able to play with the speeds better, with the changeup. He's able to go to multiple pitches in multiple counts, which is going to make him a better pitcher, which is going to let him pitch longer, which is the best thing the Angels could have. I think he's got a 2.45 ERA right now. They've got a lot of confidence. Another guy, Anthony Rendon, who was with the Nats, was a problem for the Braves. I've watched this guy destroy the Braves like Thanos over and over again. An unbelievable defensive player, but a veteran offensive guy. He was injured a little bit coming into the season. He's had a really good year. But what's crazy to me, when they went in the year, they were talking about their corner outfielders, and you're looking at Joe Adell, and there was one more guy. Nobody's really expecting Taylor Ward, a guy who in the minors, who was just absolutely blown up. I mean, he's I think second behind Mike Trout right now in OPS. He's an absolute stud. So the Angels made a lot of good moves. They have the pieces in place, I think, from the pitching rotation, from the starters to the setup guys to the backing guys, and they have depth. But the personalities, I think, is what's different for this Angels team. They've got strong personalities. They got guys that know when to fall in line. I'm trying to remember the GM's name. I think it's Pamingio. The guy, he was with the Braves from 2018 to 2020. The Braves organization, they loved him. Went over to the Angels. He's done a hell of a job. I think the Angels are for real. I think the Angels are going to make the playoffs. And whenever you have the superb talent that they have, guys like Ohtani and Trout in the playoffs is when you really see them step up. I think the Angels are for real. I need to see a couple more months, though. I need to see if they can keep it going, because that roster, it's really starting to look like it's coming together, kind of a little perfect storm. Where's George Clooney? We can make it over the wave situation.
Yeah, Mike Trout is too generational, not to be put in positions to to contribute to the postseason.
Yeah.
So I want them to be great for him, and he stood by that organization. What do you think? Are the Angels legit now?
I do. I think they are. I mean, really, and Taylor Ward has been a huge. I mean, the dude's batting 364.
Yeah, he's freaking out.
Like 64.
He's freaking out.
I mean, this guy's on my MLB team on Xbox. And
so you know
he's dropping absolute tanks
got the
right
Xbox
now. You got to think. I mean, look. I mean, you got Detmers, you got Syndergaard, you got Sandoval. I mean, and you got Shohei. I mean, you have the pitching. Mm-hmm. You have the pitching to win it all. And then, there's a bulldog sitting in your dugout. Oh, it's not a bulldog. That's Mike Trout.
Yeah.
It's a fish.
The human shark.
They have all the pieces, right? They have the two guys, Shohei, Mike, they're stars. And they have the pieces behind it to build it. They have the foundation to run deep in the playoffs. They just got to do it.
Let's go.
You know,
they've got the team to do it. You've got to stay healthy. That's it. I don't want to jinx anybody. I don't want to put anybody on Front Street or anything like that. So, again, I think the Angels are for real. I need a little more time, though. I need more time to believe in them. You know, again, it's like sometimes, you see an alien behind a tree or maybe up in the sky, but until you really actually see one, you don't believe. I need to see it to believe.
Let's stay on the MLB. Aaron Judge with a huge walk-off homer against the Blue Jays last night. He's going to get paid. My question is it going to be the Yankees who pay him?
It is. He's a lifetime Yankee. Okay. He just looks like the guy. He's a lifetime Yankee. The Yankees do this. I will give them credit. When they figure out they have a lifetime guy, they treat him as a lifetime guy. I mean, you look at Jeter, I can go down the list. I'm not saying Aaron Judge is Derek Jeter, but Aaron Judge is an anomaly as a human being. He's like a refrigerator with a giraffe on top of it. He's tall, he's strong, he can hit to all fields. That's the thing that separates him. He's not some huge pull hitter that just pulls everything. He was a little bit earlier in his career, but he is hitting the ball out to right center.
He did pull that one last night.
In New York, I mean, they're playing in a Cracker Jack box out in right field.
First of all, we took care of that.
First of all, he hit that ball out of left field.
I know that, Blaine. I'm just saying he hits the ball to all fields.
Okay, fair enough on that.
It was aggressive. I need to be aggressive.
Here's what's going to happen.
They're
not going to pay him. They're not going to pay him. Aaron Judge is going to go to the Dodgers. Okay? Aaron Judge they're going to move him to first base. All right? This is what's going to happen. You send Freddie back to Atlanta.
I love how you guys are closer and closer.
Break this kid's heart right here.
This was Anthopoulos' whole plan.
That's more about Freddie to you, not Aaron Judge. And it's okay, you're safe.
You like how I squeezed Freddie into the conversation?
I knew you
about
would.
Aaron
Find
Judge
a way.
Find a way. Who's that guy?
Yeah,
Who's
I don't
Freddie?
even remember him anymore. But that's what's going to happen.
The dagger in your bags from Freddie leaving. Have you pulled him out?
I already took it out.
You already took it out?
I took Jake's out of his bag.
Pay Aaron Judge. Why am I talking about this? Like, pay him.
They will. The Yankees will.
Pay this man. First of all, umpires, we got to get better on calling on Aaron Judge. A lot of bad calls lately. It's really.
They got to get better in general.
Yeah, he's a giant.
Even though they probably do the best job.
In the words of Aaron Boone, make an adjustment.
Yeah, he's 6'7".
Let's go to the ice.
Let's do it.
Penguins lead the Rangers in the series 3-1. Big game tonight. Do they close out the series tonight?
No. You'll see it with my bet, too. We're going back to the theory.
Is this at the Rangers?
It's at the Rangers. Must win. You're in front. What people don't, the difference in the Avs and the Preds were like this. So therefore the theory doesn't apply.
Okay.
The Penguins and the Rangers are close enough where what's the worst, one of the worst things that can happen to you as a person? It's getting embarrassed, right? Especially at your job.
Yeah.
You're a professional hockey player. Where do you not want to get embarrassed the most? At home, in front of what? All your friends and all your fans and your whole family. Therefore, I think the potential embarrassment of being embarrassed at home is going to lead the Rangers to win tonight. Do I think they win the series? No. Said the same things about this series that I did about the Bucks Celtics when the Celtics beat the Bucks at home last game. Just like what the Penguins did to the Rangers early in the series. I think the Penguins win the series. That's what I think.
I think Sid the Kid wants to embarrass them tonight.
Well, this is their last ride. That's the thing in Pittsburgh. Like Sidney Crosby, who, by the way, has been playing out of his mind. This core group they have, this is kind of their last hurrah in Pittsburgh.
Like it.
And they want it.
Let's stay on the ice. Unless you have something there?
You know, something you want to add, Blaine?
Yeah. What team does Sidney Crosby play for?
Why are you asking me like that? Like you're Dr. Evil or something?
Yeah. Don't hold two hands to drink the tumbler.
What are you trying to
It's
get
making
at? Just get
everybody
your point out
uncomfortable.
if you have something to say.
Sidney Crosby's going to close this game out.
Okay.
Is that your
Sid.
favorite- is that your favorite hockey player?
No.
Sid the Kid?
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
I have
it.
two, him and Ovi. Ovi, one Kenobi.
Is that your brother? Let's stay on the ice. Calgary hosts Dallas tonight. Will the Flames, can't believe I'm asking this.
Flaming Dragon.
Will the Flames win this series?
First off, it's Flaming Dragon. And second off, yes, they will.
You still believe in them?
Yes, I believe in them.
Okay.
I believe in them. Especially at home. I don't believe. Stars, good story. Was a good story. Was a good run. Flames are the better team.
They've proven they can win in Calgary.
They've proven they can win in
I
Calgary.
don't think we've talked enough about the Canes.
But I don't believe in them.
The Canes jerseys?
They are.
I'm telling you
Canes
guys,
jerseys are.
these might be the firiest jerseys I've seen in all sports.
They're.
In
I
all
will say
sports.
that was upper echelon.
Those jerseys are just.
the
it's
Canes
just-
cracked the code.
It's a work of art.
They cracked the code for
It's a
sure.
work of art.
I love it.
They did.
Love it. Fun to watch. Last one of 5 big questions. Keyvon Thibodeaux.
You wanted to say that so bad because that Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, this Matthew McConaughey.
I'm just
King
gonna
of
let
the
you have
Hill.
your fun.
Okay, look, he paid Graham Gano $50K to wear number 5 for the Giants, but they agreed that money is going to go to the charity Puppies Behind Bars, service dogs for wounded veterans.
I was
Here's my
about to
question.
say, wait a minute, they're locking up puppies?
Are we changing our opinion
Like-
on Thibodeaux over here?
Well, this is my
Why
5
we
big
can't-
question.
hold
Can
on,
I
hold
get
on.
my question?
Who is Thibodeaux?
or Thibodeaux, whatever his name is?
Thibodeaux?
It's Thibodeaux.
Okay.
Tomato, buddy.
Either way.
Continue,
No,
David.
it's not.
Continue,
People in Louisiana, they arrest
Continue,
you for
David.
that.
Continue, David.
Look, was I wrong on this kid, or
No.
was this just another selfish move to get the number he wanted?
Now, look, I love the move. I mean, you're helping puppies behind bars. They need representation too. But again, I don't believe in Thibodeaux's game, like because it matches the personality that I'm not a huge fan of. I'm with you. I don't think you should budge on this. You don't believe in him. He's shown you way more reasons why not to than to.
Then I won't.
I'm great you gave puppies money, but I'm not saying he's Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar built hospitals.
First of all, who's putting puppies in jail?
Yeah, let's find
We
that
need to
person.
find those people.
Puppies Behind Bars, service dogs for wounded veterans.
Puppies-
if I'm wrong, Booster Club, let me know.
Puppies
No,
behind
sounds
bars.
right, but-
We need to break them out.
Look, man, like I'm not going to get upset about this. This is, it's a great story. It's a great story.
Yeah.
I love guys who do this, and maybe it should change your opinion on him. Because it was an attitude opinion, right? You thought he just wanted to be there to be.
I don't think
famous,
you should budge.
Right?
I don't think you
Wanted
should
to be
budge at
famous,
all.
and now he's giving $50K to puppies behind bars.
Well, let's ask the Booster Club. Booster Club, should Cone change his mind
Oh,
on
everyone's
Thibodeaux?
calling Cone the Yankee Clipper right now.
They are. Dude,
Clipper?
I'm telling you, I don't know if you'll ever
Are there a lot
live
of
that one
Yankees
down.
fans in the
I mean,
Booster
it's
Club right
look.
now?
Well, it's after the other guys.
What
You know
if
who
we
the Yankee
got-
Clipper is.
This
Cone
is a-
shot Jeter. Cone def shot Jeter. Cone is the new Yankee Clipper. Cone shot Jeter.
You shot Jeter, didn't you?
You know what? This is
Cone
coming-
shot Jeter.
This is coming 24 hours after I had to listen to this kid have a quote saying, the further you go north, the worse things get. And it goes all over Twitter. And now he's talking about he's a Yankees fan. I don't believe you. I've never believed you. You're not a Yankees
He's
fan.
calling your spirit
First of all,
contradictory.
You said the further you go north, the worse things get.
I haven't been excited about the management of the Yankees. I don't think it's been great lately. I think the management's bad, but the baseball team's good. But in every other aspect of life, you go north, what gets better?
The hockey.
The hockey.
Well, Tampa Bay Lightning are like,
The
well, we're the
snow.
two-time
Aren't like-
defending champs.
Aren't the Panthers?
And the Panthers, yeah.
Yeah, aren't the Panthers? Like,
And the
regular season?
Canes.
Panthers versus the
Like,
Lightning.
what's going on?
We got Tampa Bay versus Carolina.
If you can show me what gets better the farther you go north, then I'll sit here and be like, you're right.
The ice cream.
No. Ice cream's better in hotter
Cone's
weather.
about to have a heart attack over here.
You okay? Ice cream's better in hotter weather.
God, that's true. That's a
That
good
is
point.
true.
What else from the Booster Club?
One of your
We got a couple minutes, then we're going to do our college football segment when we come back from the break.
BJPS says Cone is definitely a Dodgers fan.
Stop it.
Wow.
Don't put that evil on me,
He just got a
Ricky
little
Bobby.
jock in him.
Even though they're
McCarthy Ryan says if Judge goes to the Dodgers, they'll probably be the first annual payroll to $300 million.
Yeah, there's no way that happens. I just don't want to see that happen for multiple.
That's what's going to happen.
I don't believe in it.
Philip Munfrom says that theory did not work for the Wild.
Okay.
Shaking my head.
Here's what I want to say. The theory, it's a theory. So it's not 100%.
So is gravity.
Okay,
Hey, 60%
I'm not-
of the time.
I'm not saying I'm Pythagoras. Okay. Sometimes A squared plus B squared equals D squared. Okay. Not C squared. I put it at about a 70% hit rate. Tried it on, well, let's think about it. Really, you had 3 games last night. It was 2 for 3. So that's a 66, 0.6%. But I want to dive into the demonic waters here. It's about a 70 to 75% hit rate. That's all you can ask for. Okay. It's a theory. It's not a principle. I'm not Isaac Newton. I'm not telling you it's 100%. But I'm telling you that 72% of the time, it works 100%.
So principles are 100%, but theories are kind of just whatever.
A theory,
My theory on principles is
my theory on principles is that I hate them. I want schools with anarchy.
All right, Denny Boy says Cone should put that Aaron Judge to the Dodgers pick on the board.
Really?
no. I'm trying to win my.
I wonder what the odds
I
are.
think you should put that.
That's a futures. We can start taking futures. What else, Mine?
Let me see. The American, God, we're not getting back into the stickers discussion,
No,
guys.
yeah, I'm not doing the
Ooh,
stickers.
it sounds like
discussion.
there's a lot of stickers love over there for me.
It's not.
They
Huh?
count. I'm sorry. Get over it.
I feel like you're curating only what you want to see. In the
That's
chat
not
right
true.
now.
Yeah, he is. He's just looking at him, just rifling through the stuff he eats.
Another Cone shot Jeter. You definitely shot him.
All right. Well, since Blaine wants to rifle through,
Hold on.
hit it.
MJ Breyer's a Yankees fan.
do this to me. That's my favorite new sound on the soundboard. But we're about to talk some college football. So if you want to watch or listen to the rest of the show, head over to thedailywire.com, become a member, listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with your friends, coworkers, and people you used to work with that you still keep in touch with, which is probably nobody. We'll be right back to keep expanding your knowledge like space. It's never ending. All right, it's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, which means Cone gets to tell somebody to get off his lawn. So you get 6'7", 227 pounds of curmudgeon. Cone, why don't you tell him?
Get off my lawn.
Today I am telling the PGA Tour to get off my lawn. Now, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who just tune into golf to watch the majors and you really don't care what happens any other time, the PGA Tour has denied the request of players who want to play in the new Saudi-backed Live Tour League. Now, that is not why I'm telling them to get off my lawn. I'm in favor of that. I can at least get behind that. I do not think any golf fan benefits from the more splintering of professional golfers, with 5 of the top 10 playing in America and the other 5 top 10 playing in Saudi Arabia or what have you. My question is simple. How did we get to this point? After 93 years of excellence, why did the greatest golfers in the world not want to play on your tour anymore? The same reason that you struggle in any area is the reason we're struggling here on the PGA Tour. A lack of leadership. Now, I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I have all the answers because that's not my job. I don't get paid to solve all the problems for the PGA Tour. Best believe if I did, I would figure out a way to solve them. But the answer is not for the commissioner of the PGA Tour to run to Washington and ask for help in that front. This doesn't need to be some sort of situation where you're one of the villains in Atlas Shrugged and you need the government's help in all areas. All right? My thing is this. You're asking players to dedicate themselves completely to your tour, but they only make money if they make cuts. They have to fund themselves all on the tour every single week, which can be $5 to $10K every tournament they want to play. That's $150,000 a year. And most importantly, they don't get to share in the revenue of the TV rights. That's my biggest problem right here with this. If you're going to put these guys on TV, they deserve to get a cut of that money. All right? Gordon Ramsay may have made a lot of money by being an excellent chef, but he got rich from being on TV. The Pawn Stars, they may have run a solvent pawn shop and made a lot of money, but they got rich from being on TV. You're going to tell me Chum Lee can be a millionaire, but these guys who are the 100th greatest golfer in the world, they can't get paid to tour around. They have to self-fund all the way around the tour. The UFC has figured this out. The UFC has figured this out. You know why? Because I can understand a performance pay system where you only get paid the better you do. But in boxing and the UFC, you get paid for being on television. Then if you win the fight, you get paid more. That makes sense to me. You can do the same thing in golf. Formula One has figured this out. Max Verstappen's going to make $50 million no matter if he wins every race or loses every race, but he gets another $5 million for every race he wins. And even the guy lowest down on the totem pole in Formula One is going to make $500,000, and he's not going to have to foot the bill on any of his expenses. That makes sense to me. The PGA Tour, this is America. We want the greatest professional golfers to play in America. I don't want to see them run to the Middle East to go over to Saudi Arabia to play golf. So figure it out. Stop making excuses, and until you do, get off my lawn.
Well done.
Get off my lawn.
I thought that was really good. Look, to me,
where am I wrong, guys?
To me, it's a bad look. You look a little jelly if you're the PGA Tour.
Oh,
no, the PGA Tour, you don't look jelly. You look good.
Look, like I said, I don't have all the answers, but figure it out. Why are the best players in the world wanting to run around and play with a different tour?
I don't
You're
blame
not doing
them.
your job.
I don't blame them. And listen, you have people say, oh, well, I'm an accountant and I don't get to do this, or I work here and I can do this. Well, you're not one of the 100 best golfers in the world. It's a little bit different. It's a tad bit different. They should be able to have some sort of rev share off the TV. I'm with you 100% on the way F1, UFC, boxing, they do it, they figured it out. But the PGA Tour, I think, thinks that they're so big that they don't have to. Like I said the other day, these are the same people that said during the Masters, all right, you want to boycott it because we don't let girls join the club? Then we don't need sponsors. We'll just play the tournament on TV. So I think this is actually good for the PGA Tour that there's some competition.
Okay.
It may kind of mold the PGA Tour into something better. Could it be a legitimate threat to the PGA Tour, though? If they offer something, if I'm looking at two jobs, and one may have a little bit more notoriety, but this one pays better and has better health insurance, and I know I have a secure future, and I'm financially secure for me and my family on one side, and don't have to worry about what we're talking about with you outside of the 1 to 2% on the tour, I'm going to Saudi Arabia. We'll strap it up and go over there. Gas prices are much lower, too.
Well, I don't think the Saudi Arabia Tour, this Live Invitational, is going to have legs. I don't think you'll hear about it in 5 years. I don't think it'll be around.
You think it'll be the USFL then?
Okay, so this is a great point. This is something that I wanted to add in to what I was saying earlier. The USFL, I think that there can be value for the USFL and for the XFL. Well, basically a different professional league other than the NFL, which isn't necessarily direct competition, especially you're playing in the NFL during the fall.
Yep.
These leagues have said, you know what,
Yeah.
we'll play in the spring, okay? Which there have been conversations about why not allow PGA Tour pros after the fall tour ends, to go play elsewhere in the fall, in the winter, or something like that. So those leagues, I think, can still add value, especially for the guys who are not quite good enough to play in the NFL, right? But you don't see any of the best players in the world, the best football players in the world saying, you know what, I'm going to go sign with the USFL right now, like you do in the PGA Tour.
What's the Booch Club say, Blaine? Do they think it's a threat?
No, not really. A couple things here. Kyle Kennedy, we want some inside information from you, Cone. All right, hashtag Ask Cone. How many times a week do you practice that Get Off My Lawn form, grade A form? And
Grade A?
Grade A. It's on your form, grade
Grade
A.
A.
And are the kids in the neighborhood scared of you yet?
The
I know
kids in the
answer.
neighborhood, I made friends. My next door neighbor has a granddaughter. Her name's Riley. She's super sweet. We talked yesterday. She's going into the first grade. So yeah, look, she wasn't on my lawn.
Yeah. Well, she
wasn't
was
my
on
lawn.
you to totally
You know
get
what?
off.
When you're on the lawn, when you come on the lawn, that's not the biggest thing. It's don't be disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's don't be disrespectful on the lawn. You see what I'm saying?
You got a big lawn. In your form, I do have to agree with Kyle.
I haven't practiced the form, but I'm glad to
form
know
looks
it's grade
good.
A.
The
I'll go
form
back
looks
and
good.
watch. We watch film. We watch
Needed a
tape,
golf club.
we analyze it.
You can put
I
it-
show it to these guys every week. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, how can it
Come on,
improve?
guys.
We're trying to get better every week.
No, you good. I mean, you're never going to have to turn.
All right, Alan Adams says your lawn doesn't have good enough grass yet to play golf on it.
To play golf on?
Yes.
Not yet.
That's funny. At the old house, we did have the
We
synthetic
did.
turf.
Which is a great move, which I will be using at some point.
Did not help.
Clutch
Did
play.
not help my
That was a
short
very
game
clutch play.
whatsoever.
All right, Blaine, one more.
Trevor
This is
Basin
clutch
wants to
football.
know where's Cone's lawn chair at?
We've actually talked
We
about that
talked
as
about
well.
this.
It's just weird with camera angles and lawn chairs. Maybe we should just have you smash a lawn chair after every one of the get up on lawn to really drive home the point. Is poor Canadian still in here? Was he happy with the baseball talk? Or what is it?
I haven't seen.
What does he want us to talk
I
about?
haven't seen anything from the one they call Poor Canadian.
The poorest Canadian.
When I do, I will let everybody know.
All right. You want to get into Quick Hitch, the new college football segment?
Tell them about it.
All right, so we're going to start doing a quick college football segment every day because we're close enough now, and y'all know what time it is, so we're going to call it Quick Hitch. Is it the prettiest, sexiest route? No, but we need 5 yards on 3rd and 4, and we're going to get the first down to keep the drive going. Don't be selfish. It's a team thing here. It's like we were talking about earlier with Matt Walsh, dropping that Saturday, talking some Ravens. Blow your mind. Question is, give me your 4 college football playoff teams if you had to exclude the SEC.
You had to
and I
exclude
know
the SEC.
it's hypothetical. And we all know the SEC is going to get 2 in. And who's it going to be? It's probably going to be Bama and Georgia. Let's not beat around the bush. But if the SEC could not get a team in the tournament, which 4 teams make the college football playoff? Cone, you want to start?
Am I up?
You're up.
Look, I'm going to start with the Buckeyes.
Makes sense.
We're just here to be rational. I'm here to help people win the water cooler. I'm not. Facts don't care about my feelings. Do I want them in there? No. But they're going to be in there in this scenario.
True.
Let's go Buckeyes 1. 2, give me Oregon. Give me Oregon. You got Oregon as well?
Come on, kid.
Hey, Dan Lanning, Bo Nix.
believing in
winning
Bo
the
Nix.
conference.
There's already a good foundation there.
Got to believe in the.
Got a
conference.
solid quarterback, not a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback.
Dark horse, though.
Okay, I don't want to break your heart.
Dark
not
horse.
a Heisman Trophy, but a good quarterback who can make the playoff if no SEC teams got in.
True.
Okay, Oregon. Let's go to the Big 12. Baylor. Give me the Baylor Bears. I think they figure out a way to do it. Now, they have Oklahoma and Texas both on the road, but they have Oklahoma State at home. I think they figure out a way. Dave Aranda and the boys, not too happy with the way things turned out last year, not getting in the playoff. I think they figure out a way this year.
Okay.
And lastly, you ready for this one?
You ready for this?
Miami.
Wow.
Give me Mario Cristobal. Going to the alma mater.
A little scary.
Going to the alma mater. I had Clemson in.
Van
I had
Dyke's a
Clemson at the
witch.
last minute, but I'm like, I don't believe in DJU. I don't believe in DJU. Now, do I expect him to do better this season than he did last year? Of course. But we're talking about making the college football playoff. Give me Mario Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes.
So you had Oregon, Baylor,
Miami.
And the one that shall not be named.
Ohio State.
Who is it?
The Buckeyes.
Did you
was that
say
your
it?
plan?
Wait, whoa.
He didn't say it.
No. Did Cone say it? Did he say Ohio State instead of Ohio? I think he
Never.
might have said it.
Never.
Or did you say the Buckeyes?
Never going to happen.
I would have caught that.
99% sure.
All right, Blaine.
No,
what
my
are you-
list
what are
is
you
somewhat
for?
similar. All
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
I'm going with Ohio State.
Okay, check.
Why wouldn't you? All right, I'm also going with the Oregon Ducks. I feel like the one thing they were missing last year was a quarterback, and they got that with Bo Nix, who can run.
Flying V.
Okay.
Then I'm going with Sweeney and the boys. Give me Clemson.
Oh, you're going Clemson?
Give me Clemson. I mean, they had such a terrible year last year. I mean, they won 10 games.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
Hopefully DJ gets better. If not, you're
no.
Clemson. Hopefully you have a good backup you can put in. But I think their defense is going to be better. I still think the ACC is super weak. I'm more worried about Wake Forest than in Miami if I'm Clemson. And then I'm going Oklahoma Sooners. I believe in Dylan Gabriel.
I believe in Brent Venables.
Did Dylan Gabriel screw me last year when I took a UCF bet when he threw a pick six with 4 seconds left? Yeah.
Was that Memphis? Was that UCF?
It might have been, but gotten over it.
You've gotten over it?
I crossed the bridge, and I got over it. But I believe in Dylan Gabriel. I think the offenses aren't going to be as good in the Big 12, but I think their defense is going to be good. I think Venables gets some.
You have been consistent when you think.
So I'm going to go with the Sooners.
Okay, so you have Clemson.
Buckeyes, Clemson, Oregon, and the
Oklahoma.
Sooners.
Okay.
All right. Here's what I've got, and I've got a bunch of stuff to back it up. One, Ohio State. I think they're a top 2 team in the country. I got them in the national championship game against Alabama. C.J. Stroud, the gang. I know they lost Olave. I know they lost Garrett Wilson, but they just
I want to change my pick.
they absolutely reload. Second, Utah coming out of the Pac-12. I think they're the best team in the Pac-12.
like that.
Oregon needs some time with Dan Lanning. I do think Bo Nix is an upgrade at quarterback.
Lost your
from
best
the
player on
Anthony
defense.
Brown kid. Yeah, listen, I believe in Cameron Rising's a good player at quarterback. I think he's.
I was going to ask,
able
so they have Rising at
They
quarterback?
have Rising
he's
at
a
quarterback.
freshman last year.
Look, they've got pieces. You know, that I believe in them up front too. Again, that Utah's been able to run the ball consistently. What Kyle Whittingham has been able to do out there is
like
very
that pick.
impressive. So give me Utah there to not USC, not Oregon. Give me Utah. Then give me Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma.
Okay.
I look at Brent Venables. Big thing with Oklahoma, they get Baylor at home. They get Oklahoma State at home. I think those are 2 big things. We know Texas Red River Shootout. I'm not going to call it anything other than the Red River Shootout because that's what it's
Who's
called.
saying not to
I'm going to
call
call the Georgia-Florida game the cocktail party, and I'm going to call Texas playing Oklahoma the Red River Shootout, not the Red River rivalry. I know if I say Red River Shootout, I'm not telling somebody to go shoot up a mall or something. It's the Red River Shootout. Grow up. They get Baylor and Oklahoma State at home. So like Oklahoma there, I think they're the best team in the Big 12. Like I said, I love what Brent Venables is doing there. They have the Archangel Gabriel at quarterback. Then fourth, the SEC doesn't get 2 teams in because they're excluded. The second best conference is going to get 2 teams in.
Big Ten East?
Big Ten East. They're both coming out of the Big Ten East. I'm going to tell you why.
Talk to me.
Michigan will make the playoff.
Yes.
And here's why.
Pick, Jay.
Here's why. Very similar to why I have Oklahoma going out of the Big 12. Schedule. Michigan plays nobody out of conference. You play Colorado State.
Like nobody or nobody good?
You play nobody good. Okay, you're not going out there and playing against ghosts. you know, Connecticut, Colorado State, they're going to run through it.
Teams.
You get Penn State at home. You get Michigan State at home.
Good.
You're going to lose to Ohio State. I don't think you're losing to Nebraska. I think you get Nebraska at home. I think you get Illinois at home. It's a really good schedule for Michigan outside of Ohio State. So you go 11-1. You don't go to the Big Ten championship game. You end at 11-1. Ohio State goes to the Big Ten championship game, wins it. Michigan gets a 4 seed. Notre Dame, people will say Notre Dame should make it. No, look at that schedule. You're losing to Ohio State. People will say Clemson make it. I think Notre Dame beats Clemson at home when Clemson goes up there. When you look at Notre Dame's schedule, I think they may lose to BYU at BYU. So I don't think Notre Dame, I think they have at least 2 losses and they're not getting in. So give me Oklahoma, give me Ohio State, give me Michigan, and give me Utah.
Interesting.
Those are my 4.
I just don't know if I believe in the quarterback GAs of Michigan. I just really don't.
You just keep bringing it up. I believe in McNamara doesn't need a GA. He's seen this movie before. And then J.J. McCarthy trying to stay healthy.
He knows.
I'm telling you, look, McNamara's a good
pretty
quarterback.
Good players on defense.
Watch McNamara and Stetson Bennett.
Couple good ones.
Watch McNamara and Stetson Bennett. Look, Michigan's got dogs on that roster. They've got good players.
In that scenario, it's interesting because you did apply the SEC strategy to the Big Ten East, which is that one team that loses to, in this case, Ohio, which would normally be Alabama in the SEC West in the other scenario, doesn't make the conference championship, so is sitting there with 1 loss at home on conference championship week and then could sneak in, but only in this.
The only difference is in the SEC, they're from 1 from each of the divisions. In the Big Ten, it's 2 from 1 division because obviously I think Georgia's going to play Bama in the SEC championship game.
You're
surprise,
crazy.
Surprise. But again, it's so funny. We've gotten to this point. We've got to exclude the SEC. What team were we missing, Booster Club, that you think we should have added? Some people say Clemson. I think a lot of people agree with us.
BJPS says USC has Caleb Mario, and they're about to get Addison. I mean, who needs defense if it's a Pac-12? Maybe it was USC a team we're missing?
I think this is where Utah, in the trenches, they're more physical. I'm telling you that. I think Utah, and you're going to see this at Oregon, you're going to see it, that mentality is going to kind of change because, again, if everybody's throwing a fastball and it's all about offense, how do you stand out? How do you separate yourself? Be the yang to the yin or the yin to the yang. You be the physical team up front. You be the team that runs the ball to set up the pass. You be the team that relies on defense and special teams, and you'll be the outlier if you're good enough at it to give a team a change-up every week as opposed to what they're seeing.
It's funny you say that because Baylor and Oklahoma State both did that in the Big 12, really for the first time.
Look who Oklahoma hired.
Starting to say, like, man, no teams in the Big 12 play defense. They're all offensive-minded. Look what both those teams were able to do in a conference with Lincoln Riley still in it last season, and they both played for the conference championship.
Blaine, anywhere missing anybody said in there?
Cole Kugler says Florida will beat Utah week 1.
That'd be huge for Billy. I just, AR-15 can go off. It's just the roster still at Florida. I don't think.
Where's that game?
It's where they need to be. I believe it's a neutral site, correct? All right, maybe in Gainesville. We need to.
I would think it's a neutral site. If it's week 1, they play.
Yeah, it's gonna be a neutral site. I do want to get Blaine to Would You Rather though, because it's your turn this week to ask the questions, and I cannot wait to see this.
You know, we'll keep the stack with you guys. Somewhat struggled with this.
They're playing at Florida, I think.
They're in Gainesville?
Says it's at Ben Hill Griffin.
Wow, that's Florida. It's the swamp.
That's gonna be tough. All right, y'all ready for this?
Be a good test.
What are we doing now? What
week
Would you
1.
rather?
The first 2 weeks of college football are gonna be amazing.
Yeah, they are.
All right, little would you rather right here, boys. Little would you rather?
Would you Dan rather?
Right?
And he's in charge this week?
Well, I had to calm it down a little bit. I got told to calm down.
This is going to be our final episode.
There's certain would you rathers I could.
Yeah, Blaine's Would You Rather is like, would you rather drown or burn to death?
What's wrong with that? It's a real
question. We're not doing that.
It's a real question.
This isn't the dark emo hour.
That's not emo. How's that emo? That's not emo. All right, would you rather Be on a stranded island by yourself.
Be stranded on an island,
By
or be on a
yourself.
stranded island.
Be on, you know what I'm saying? Or be with someone who never quits talking.
Oh, come on, man. The first one.
I'd rather be on an island.
I've read Robinson
By yourself?
Crusoe.
I'd rather be on an island by myself.
I've read Robinson Crusoe and I've watched Castaway. I can figure a way.
I'll paint a face on a volleyball and become friends with it.
You kidding me?
Wilson?
Not going to
somebody
sit
never
there and listen
shut
to
that.
someone
I'll get four of them.
yap. No.
So you'd rather be all alone.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess in either scenario, I can't be with my family, right? You're just saying I have to be with the one person who's
Good
just
save
yapping?
there, just in case.
No. Yeah, you got to make sure that I cover all my bases.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want somebody just blah, 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 blah.
All right, I'll be friends with a volleyball.
Yeah, I'll be
Wilson.
friends with them.
Number 2. All right. Would you rather be a great player with a trash legacy or be a good player that few will remember?
A
Trash legacy, like
trash
as a
legacy.
person, you're a great player, but you were an awful human being sort of situation, or
Yeah.
okay.
Like
And
a
the other one,
Roger Clemens situation.
I would rather not.
or you're a good,
Good player that few will remember.
Do you have a comp for that one as well? What,
Me?
I'll be you any day. man.
Yeah, I would rather
blue
be
box?
the few remember that was a good player than be like, that guy was just,
Yeah.
it's not a good person.
You know what? I'll go with that too. I hate to agree with him, but
Okay.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
We don't need any character issues over here.
No, I don't want to bend.
All right, number 3, last one, boys. Would you rather get tackled full speed by Jadeveon Clowney
Mm,
or get hit in the face full speed by a Cristiano Ronaldo penalty kick?
I'd rather get hit in the face by a Cristiano Ronaldo penalty kick. There's just, listen, could I die? Yes, but there's a lot less chance
From what
of other
distance
bodily
on the
injury.
the
It's a penalty kick.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. I'd rather get hit in the face with it.
Cristiano smashes
I'm
that
going to
ball.
take the Jadeveon Clowney hit. I've gotten hit like that. Those guys are all big and good. Like,
Well, you're 6'7".
One
You
more.
can cushion the blow.
I already can't get up in the morning from those kind of hits.
Yeah.
So I'll take that.
That was pretty good.
Not bad.
Well done, sir.
bad.
Hey,
That wasn't
hey, right
bad.
there
Not
on
bad.
those. Nice.
Blaine, why don't you continue reading from the Booster Club as I move over to the board of lecture, the board of listening, talking,
Community,
absorbing,
friendship,
deflating,
and high five.
lost love, life, and live in. What else we got in the Booster Club, Blaine?
Most embarrassing
your
moment
cue,
in
bud.
sports was Pete Carroll not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch to win the Super Bowl.
hard to argue that.
Was that more embarrassing than the butt fumble by Mark Sanchez?
No, the butt fumble super duper
The
embarrassing.
butt fumble has followed him around every.
That's the play Mark Sanchez is known the most
and
for.
I hate
Name
that.
another play that Mark Sanchez
I
is
hate
known
that
for.
for Mark Sanchez. Man.
I do
He's
too. He
good
seems like a
quarterback.
super good guy.
Hudson Little says, Island all by myself all day. I'm the person who won't stop talking.
Buddy said that.
Yeah, Huddy said it
Huddy
to both
did,
of them.
yeah.
All right, 1-1 last night. Really excited about the Canes. Really came through, punched the theory home. The Wild, you let down everybody, including your family, your friends. The people you care about the most are the people you let down the most. And I'm going to let you live with that. That's your problem. That's your truth. That's your life. It's your choice. Here's what I got today. These are my choices. I'm going New York Rangers, -137. Got to have it. You don't win this one, you get embarrassed in front of your friends. I don't have to go home and tell my fiance, I wasn't good enough, Cone.
You don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. Tonight, the Rangers are good enough. At least I think they're going to be. Then give me Dylan Brooks over 1.5 threes. It's going off at -160. Just don't get kicked out of the game, man. Just don't get kicked out of the game. I watched Blaine pick you on the same bet. You got kicked out of the game. There's no John Morant. You're going to have to score. You're going to have to score a lot from 3. Give me 2 in the first quarter. I don't want to worry. At least one of these bets, I don't want to have to worry about. I don't want to sweat it just once. After saying that, the Canes did dominate last night. I do got to give them credit. I didn't worry about that. But the Wild, you let me down. What's new, Minnesota? What's up, Cone?
I started a new pad yesterday, boys.
Wow, it's a new pad. Look
in
at
the
you.
folder of excellence and correctness.
Oh, wow.
in the
Okay.
folder.
You have been hot lately.
And now, now I'm going to jinx it, but new pad yesterday, and we go 2-0. So I think we keep that going. And we do that by taking the Mets in the first 5.
Okay.
Minus a half run on that, not the run, or not the money line. Minus a half run. That's going off at -125.
Love
They
to
let
see
me
it.
down yesterday, or they let me down day before yesterday. Not going to do it again. And then I want the Flames, Jake, but not for the whole game because the odds were too extreme. I want the Flames in the first period, minus a half goal, and those odds are +135.
Woo!
Be up 1-0 at the end of the first. Be up 1-0.
Not too much to ask?
Is that asking too much
I don't think it is.
for the Calgary Flame?
I don't think it is.
54 games won this year. Figure it out.
Blaine, what did the trapped souls inside your beard tell you?
They won't quit talking. But two.
Well, that's
I really dove into the science yesterday.
Okay.
I really dove into it.
You did.
I wanted
You
to
did
get to the bottom of the well, and I wanted to see
Tell
what it looked
people
like.
about it. It looked good.
I looked the guy from the Matrix in the eyes, and I popped up on all the screens and says, I'm not getting these wrong. I'm not. So I bet an inning, 2 things in 1 inning, and I hit both of them. I've been so inconsistent. I've been going 2-0, then 0-2 the next day, and I said, hell. Woke up this morning, I said, hell. If I'm going to go 0-2, I'd rather go 0-2 at dog bets.
I'm doing on my
I chose violence today, boys. That's what I chose. I'm taking 2 dogs.
Player props?
Today. One of them is. Terrible decision, probably. I was going to miss it anyway. Definitely going to go 0-2, regardless of what I took. If they're minus 190. So give me Clay over 4.5 rebounds. The last 2 games, you've had 7 and 9 boards.
Uh-oh.
Let's box Steven Adams out, Draymond, and let Clay get the rebounds. All right? Then I'm taking the A's over the Tigers. Beat him yesterday. A decent cat on the mound. The Tigers are still undecided. The Tigers aren't good at baseball this year. They really aren't.
You got full game or first half?
Full game, baby. Full game. So Clay plus 106, the A's plus 115. I want those margins to go up. I want those units to go up.
Okay.
You know what? If I lose today, I'm fine with it because I was going to go 0-2 regardless.
I felt that.
I was going to go 0-2 regardless.
I felt that right here, man.
If you could have seen Blaine, he had the 3rd inning of the Giants in both his bets. He just walked out of the house and just walked around. And then just popped back up. They walked the first batter at the top of the inning, and he wasn't in there. He's probably over 300 yards away from me, but just the internal brotherly feeling, I could just feel it.
Okay.
You walk the first
that.
guy, and then you go 2-0 on the second guy. I was trying to get the Twins manager on the phone. Pull this guy. Get him out.
Is this the top third or bottom third?
Top. The top, they faced 1, 2, 3. But then
That wasn't how the
Verlander
strategy-
faced 7, 8, 9. He was like, you're out, you're out, you're out, you're out, you're out. So, half of the theory worked.
So he got 6 outs in the bottom of the third. That's good.
Yeah. So really went to the top of the 5th. Okay. After that.
Pretty good. All right, I want to make sure I get these bets in before parting thoughts. Jay Bagwell, 1-0, broke the 0-11 streak yesterday, which is about the most impressive thing I've ever seen. He wants the Warriors money line. Would it be smart to maybe still fade him? Probably. But it looks like he's slowly turning that frown upside down. Happy for you, J-Bags. Happy for your perseverance. Proud of you. JT Bryan, 91, wants the Brewers money line. He's 6-0.
No.
Okay. I'm just shocked by how well some of you are doing. Canyon Reed Brock, 4-0, wants Giannis to outscore Tatum at minus 170. I like that bet. You really dove into the science and algebraic equations there. Wildcat Cubs fans, 3-0, wants Chelsea money line, minus 150. X-Ray, 1219, 3-0, Brewers money line. That's minus 200. Sneaky, sneaky. Sir Fox the Great wants the Brewers money line as well. Let me see. Hull's Ryan MC wants the Caps money line, plus 185. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Booster Club, and I love where your head's at, dangerous man. JD Stone, 1-0, Brewers money line. He got it at minus 190. Tall Riot wants Grayson Allen over 8.5 points. Like he said, just don't be tripping out there, Grayson. We'll see how it goes. Infinite Zeal wants the Wolves plus 1.5 tonight. We're going to see.
The Booster Club is awesome.
It's the best. It's the greatest grassroots movement since the French Renaissance. Or any Renaissance. Haven't said that. Blaine, parting thoughts.
All right, this is
Or anything from the Booster
for
Club
us
you like.
and the Booster Club guys. All right. If you type something in the chat, in my opinion, at that point, it's fair game.
Yes.
What, to be read?
To be read.
Oh, that's what it's for.
To be read.
What is that? What, somebody don't want...
Huddy's a little bit, I wouldn't say upset, but I don't know if he wanted me to say that island comment out loud. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, no, that's getting read.
Yeah, Huddy, you
Read,
know
Huddy.
the
Like,
rules.
it's not
Huddy,
like
you know the rules.
I can't read that. It's hilarious, first of all.
Or just put like a in parentheses, don't read this. Blaine's a really good reader.
Really
Okay, so
good.
if you put it out there, he's going to read it.
No one
He's going to do
reads
really good reading.
gooder than him.
Nobody is a gooder
With
reader.
those glasses
It's
on?
more funner.
Nobody
No one is gooder.
nobody is more funner or a gooder reader than Blaine is.
I have a parting thought.
I'm interested to see what this is.
My father-in-law heard about the other guy's review.
Richard, former Jets star.
He's in town.
You going to watch it with him?
Says he wants to watch it tomorrow night.
Good.
Thursday night movie night. And wants me to live.
You heard what was
when I
said
watch it.
earlier.
You should.
You heard what was said earlier.
Maybe Richard
by a
can
gentleman
say-
that was next to me.
I mean, if Matt Walsh says it's worth a rewatch,
Oh, so you value him more than you value us?
No, I'm just saying that, I don't want to.
No, it's okay. You're
It's
just
okay,
saying
David.
enough.
That's okay.
You're just
I
saying
don't want to
enough.
seek asylum in the false security of consensus. Okay, I'm not just a branch withering that's going to just, flip-flop to whatever.
You were a
side.
branch yesterday.
But if there are enough people who come together and say, look, just give it a rewatch. They didn't come at me, we had the hate, the initial hate. I got a lot of hate, okay? But then we had some saying, listen, just give it a rewatch. If you still hate it, that's fine. But just watch it again with the understanding that maybe put yourself in your 18-year-old self rather than your 34-year-old self.
I mean, sometimes you got to change shoes.
So there might be a viewing tomorrow night, and there might be a live tweet session going with it.
Really? Well, I'm going to make.
Know if you guys are going to be present.
I'm going to.
Thoughts from your boy. Can't wait to play a little tennis after this.
You're good. See y'all doing the
playing
tennis thing?
today?
Man, I've got to. I mean, the games are on.
Well, the games aren't on until 6 something, right?
I mean, y'all going to go straight there. I've got my routine, man. Y'all know me. I'm a routine guy.
I know.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Look,
who knows?
You break a man's routine, you break a man's spirit.
That's
I get
exactly
that.
right.
But live a little. And also, Blaine, are you hitting the one-hand backhand or the two-hand backhand? What am I doing?
I don't think my two-hand backhand's enough established.
Are you just
I haven't
shot the ball off?
I'm
Are
a
you just
big
the
one,
Vringa
but
with it?
I don't feel like I'm a complete tennis player until you have the two-hand backhand.
Do you grunt, Blaine, when you do it? Or you're like,
You have to grunt. You have to grunt.
Yeah,
You're not
That's the sound you make on your forehead.
That's
Those are my
going on.
grunts.
That's going on the soundboard.
Yeah, do your forehand again. What's it?
It puts fear and
Yeah,
and anxiety
because they think you have dissociative identity disorder. That's why. What else from the Boost Cup real quick before we go? Yeah. Today I'm Patricia.
PJ look, they're taking the Crane Company boys. Like y'all aren't gonna win. As in the people who are playing tennis with us.
Yeah, y'all are gonna. Yeah,
it's an L.
If we want to show up and I do. God with the sports show's got to watch the games. Shocker there. Shocker
MJ
there.
Breyer says come. Okay, you said you're watching it Thursday.
It's a possibility. Let's see.
Are you watching it or not, David?
We'll see.
And no, I don't need.
Possibilities or stuff like that. I don't need a pie chart.
Is this a theory or is this happening?
Or is this a principle?
First of all, way to
Is this a
come full
theory or a
circle on the
principle?
show.
Thank
okay,
you.
that's why you're a professional.
Yeah.
Second of all, I don't know, man. If we get enough Twitter momentum, if we get enough momentum on social media, maybe if we get the Crane and Company YouTube account over 7,000 because it's been teetering on the edge right there.
Over.
Oh, we hit 7?
Yeah. Literally, as you're
10K.
speaking, we just hit.
You didn't let me finish. 7,250. Then we're gonna have a viewing tomorrow night for sure.
Get 5 million.
Are you guys coming or not? Are you
For
guys
Thursday
coming to
night?
the viewing? The other guys.
Man, I don't know if I can
Dave,
watch
I
you
don't-
get
I don't
upset
need-
watching that movie.
I
Like,
don't
that's
need.
just
I
not a
don't
place
think
I want
you
to be
need
at.
us to be there.
Yeah.
I think this journey needs to be you
Is this
take
a solo
and Richard.
journey?
You need to take
Okay.
this journey.
Well,
all right? With an open mind.
Just don't want y'all to marginalize.
MJ Bryce says, put your mind in comedy mode.
Listen, you marginalize yourself by saying things about the other guys.
Fair enough.
So you made your own bed. You make your own decisions. I don't want to peer pressure you into liking it or not. Anything else, Blaine, worthwhile? And get the YouTube thing over 50,000. Do it
Jesse
now.
Grant says, funnier is not a word. She wanted
Funnerer?
funnier.
Funnier?
Funnier.
Funnier is a word, right?
Be gooder. Be
Funnier,
gooder.
yeah, funnier is a word. You got me just tripping over here. Funnest is not, and funner is not a word. Did she mean to say funner? Because we know funner is not a word. We're just making fun of Blaine for saying it the other day.
Logic says, if your father-in-law laughs more than you, gain his wisdom.
Well, first of all,
Yes.
Richard is going to die laughing.
Oh,
I
Richard
already
loved
know.
the movie.
It's a funny movie.
I'm just hoping it
Richard's
rubs
gonna
off on
die
you.
laughing.
Probably because it's a funny movie.
We watched The Lincoln Lawyer.
I just hope it's
Watch
airborne.
The Lincoln
That's one
Lawyer.
thing that I do hope.
Now,
it's
that's a film.
The Lincoln Lawyer?
Yes.
Great movie.
Yes.
It's a great movie. All right, appreciate you guys. Make sure as well you are following us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. If you're not following us on YouTube, Crane and Company on YouTube, make sure, even if you're on thedailywire.com, we appreciate you guys. Booster Club, it's always love. Got a great show for you tomorrow. Got some great guests lined up as well. And just like my bet's not hitting, I'm putting it out there. We're going. Gone.